Welcome, everyone. This is episode 21, and I have titled it, I Have Confidence in Me. I'm Sharri Harmel, life and business coach, as well as creator of Loving the Real You. And today we're going to talk about confidence. But what is confidence, and how does it differ from self-esteem? Well, self-esteem is usually really referring to how we feel about ourselves, our self-worth. It's really about how much we like who we are. Confidence, on the other hand, is always connected to feelings about, what we think we can achieve. Confidence is about the doing. For women, our confidence comes from knowing who you are at your core, not the roles that you have in your life, but the woman that you truly are, the real you. And confidence, for whatever reason, seems to be a much bigger issue for women than it is for men. But let's explore this. Why is that? Well, most women are very intuitive and, dare I say, nurturing. So we constantly are reading the people around us. We take in the energy of those people, their nonverbal communication, their comments, and much, much more. Also, women are natural people pleasers. So we tend to shift and morph ourselves to be received more positively by the people around us. We like fitting in. As a consequence, we very often don't show people who we are, nor do we share what we really think. Now, I'm a direct, very focused woman with a brain that makes connections and creates ideas as easily as I breathe. I started out my career in the financial services industry as a stockbroker way back when. And I was always nervous that I was coming across as too strong, too ambitious, too focused, just too much. And we've all heard what the world calls women like that. So I learned to turn myself down a little bit. And even worse, I learned to not ask for what it was that I wanted. During my marriage, I advised my CEO husband on the large private company that he ran for almost 2 decades, but never once did I ask for a position in the company. Even though I knew more about the company than most of his direct reports, I stayed the wife to the outside world. Worked for him, but it was a huge mistake for me when our marriage ended. But how does this relate to confidence? Because as women, we tend to worry about the feelings of others. We want to be perceived as supportive, whether it's at work or at home. Now, I'm not asking you to shut down your feminine strengths of intuition and those nurturing leadership traits that you have. Those are really, really important. But you do need to cultivate your confidence so that you do speak up and you show up as you really are, and not just be an amazing doer. Let me explain. This is a story from one of my recent coaching clients. I'll call her Samantha. Sam is an ambitious, smart, talented professional woman. I discussed confidence on one of our calls and even made the suggestion of a book that she should read. In that session, Sam was pretty quiet when I talked about confidence, and I could tell that the conversation maybe didn't feel right for her at that moment. Well, a couple of sessions later, Sam shared that she wouldn't have said confidence was an issue for her until she thought more about herself in a work context and started to read the book I had recommended. The book is titled The Confidence Code by Katty Kay and Claire Shipman, and it's excellent. Highly recommend it. Suddenly, reading that book and thinking about it, the light bulb went off in Sam's head. And she realized that confidence was a huge issue for her. And that was why she wasn't sharing her opinions at work. Instead, Sam shared that she stayed quiet because she doubted her expertise, even though she was incredibly accomplished in her area of work. She didn't share. And she also worried too much about the reactions of others. So it's possible you can relate to Sam. And if so, your biggest hurdle might be inside your own head. Ladies, those mindset issues just keep showing up, don't they? Well, another 2 weeks went by, and Sam shared with me that she is now speaking up in meetings, sharing what she thinks. And her senior manager, who is in those same meetings, has recently said to her that, she was super impressed with Sam's input and encouraged her to share more. As for the rest of the team, they're all men, and they were sort of taken aback by her ideas and her speaking up. But it's shifted everything for Sam. But what's going on here? Why don't women feel as confident to speak up, share their ideas, display really whatever their strengths are in a work context? Now, ask yourself if this is true. Do you believe that your work will speak loud enough for people to notice you and recognize your contributions, that you don't have to self-promote, you don't have to share what's going on in your head? But as many of you know, that isn't leadership. Yes, your good work will be noticed, but leadership requires taking risks and showing your unique and valuable ways of thinking, analyzing, the ideas that come to you. That is what leadership is all about. So whether you're a corporate gal or a stay-at-home mother, I'm using this word leader and leadership because it applies. The definition of leadership is actually motivating a group of people towards something. Well, aren't we all leading in some capacity? Now, when you stick to overproducing and over-delivering, but not sharing what you think, as well as what you are doing, most people just will not view you as a leader. Super dangerous if you have kids. Now, there are some different components at play here. And the first is that as a woman, you are more likely to be an overachiever and even a perfectionist than a man. Therefore, you might be waiting to be sure that it is safe for you to ask for what it is that you want and to share what you think, especially if you have a contrary opinion. Now, this is very, very different from the average man, and I've coached men many, many years in my career. Men ask to be on the A teams, whether they're qualified or not. Statistics tell us that men apply for jobs when they have 60% of the required skills. Women, they don't tend to apply unless they have 100% of the skills listed on the job description, and even then they may not. Why? Well, this leads to the second component. Men are much more comfortable stretching themselves because men are more comfortable with failure than women. But ladies, we have to stop waiting for permission or an invitation from the universe to move ahead with our dreams. The only person you need permission from is yourself. So I'm encouraging you to kick all those should be's out the door and welcome in the could be's. Now, I work with women who are ready to explore starting a business of their own. Whether you've been in the corporate world and have had it and are just ready to walk out the door, or your job has been to raise the kids. If the entrepreneurial spirit, I should say, is nudging you to create something, do something, build something, it's imperative for you to step up and grow your confidence on many different levels. And exactly how do you grow your confidence? Well, the first biggest builder of confidence is action. And this is where men can be good teachers for us. From a very young age, boys are more likely to do something long before they can master it. My mindset superpower actually is taking action. But if that's not yours, I invite you to push yourself to get uncomfortable, because action builds confidence. Action also helps you to learn new skills and make those needed connections. And the real biggie, I should say, step into self-promotion. I want you to all embrace Nike's old tagline, just do it. My client Sam, here's the update. So her self-confidence and visibility grew exponentially when she stopped keeping her gifts locked up inside her head and began speaking out. Now, the second builder of confidence is to love the real you. Remember when I said as women, your confidence comes from knowing who you really are and not the roles that you have in your life? Well, knowing yourself, the real you, will give you that authenticity to never compromise who you are just to fit in. Instead, when you know who you are, you'll feel that real confidence you need to do what it is that you crave to do. When you truly know yourself, the fog lifts and every decision and choice in your life becomes clear. Now, maybe you're at that place of wanting to get started on a business idea, but not sure on your idea, or maybe you have several ideas. Well, this is my wheelhouse, ladies. I hope we do work together, but if it's not me, find a coach who can lead you through the process of exploring options based on your life and work values. Super important. And also someone who can direct you to research whether or not your idea meets your skills, your passions, and also has a strong market demand for whatever it is that you want to create. Ladies, let's go. No more waiting for permission or signs from the universe. Let's step into your confidence by taking action. I'm encouraging you all to channel Julie Andrews in The Sound of Music. Just bring her in and sing out, I have confidence in me. Well, on February 16th, I'm launching a mini course as a boost for you to make sure that your choices and behaviors support your dreams for 2021 and beyond. It's called Recapture Your Joie de Vie, or Joy of Living. And it's taking place live 2 Tuesdays, the end of February, and 1 the beginning of March. And the course begins right after Valentine's Day. It's perfect if you're struggling to come up with a few of the new behaviors and choices that you need to step into your big dream. If you can't be on live, no worries, because I'll be recording the call so that you can listen to it when it works for your schedule. And because of the financial difficulties that COVID has created, I've decided to give you a very special discounted price. I know, totally crazy, but it's my gift to you. Now, I will never, ever offer this mini course at this price again, so don't wait. Go and sign up right now. Make this Valentine's the first day of the rest of the year. Have confidence in making your big, extraordinary, and audacious goals for 2021 come true. I hope to see you on February 16th. So come and join the party. As always, thank you for listening and being on this journey with me. And if you liked this podcast, please subscribe and write me a review, because reviews do matter. Bye for now. A biento.